Hey, we are back live once again. My sweet and amazing and brilliant friend, Amber Coleman. Hey, Amber, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Nice
We
to
are
see
we are
you
here. We are
again.
kicking off 2025. I cannot believe it's 2025, Amber.
I
What the
know.
heck is
Happy
going on?
New
Happy New
Year. I'm
Year.
so
Happy New
excited
Year.
for this year. It just feels good. It feels good out there right now.
Yeah, it's last year. It's so funny because there's a lot of differing opinions on 2024, right? Like, oh, it was a horrible year and let me get out of it and all the things. But at the end of the day, it's less about it that it was a bad year. It's just more about let's just kick this one off and leave everything behind. Let's just like
Yeah,
go full force forward. So I love
yeah,
it. I love
yeah,
it. Oh, I
yeah.
just want to say hi to everybody who's joining us initially. Hey, Sin City Syndicate. Hey, Brian Philly B. Hey, Maddie Mo. Good to see you. And yeah, so if you guys are joining us live, we just want you to know we are here for you. We do these live streams for you. So do me a favor, drop it like it's hot in the comment box below if you have any questions. Today, we're going to have a good time. Amber and I, as you know, we always have a good time when we do our live streams. This is the first one of 2025. So I thought we would like stretch it a little, do a little shimmy shake, do what we got to do to like kick off the year, shake off any bad vibes, and just really do nothing but fun. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Are you ready, Amber?
Let's do it. Yep.
All right. Today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff we talked about last time with new loan limits and things like that as it relates to buying a house here in Vegas. That's not the only thing, though. And we're revisiting it because there's some new information that was shared, and we wanted to go a little deeper on the topic. After that, we're going to talk about some interesting information that Amber shared with me today that we want you to know about as it relates to the process of getting approved for a loan. Some good news. We'll do some market stats review, and then I'm going to play with MLS and let you guys see on the screen what you can get for your money right now in Vegas. So if you are thinking about moving to Las Vegas, do me a favor, text me at that phone number on the bottom of the screen, or you can click the link in any description or any pinned comment on all of our channels. We would love to chat with you. I don't care if you're moving now, 10 years from now, it doesn't really matter. We want to make sure that we're a part of your journey from day one. But what I think is going to be fun, if you could help us with this, if you're watching live, is drop some scenarios in the comment box. For instance, what can I get for $350,000 in Las Vegas or in Summerlin or whatever. So give me some parameters to search, and I'll show you guys what's going on in MLS right now as of today. What do you think, Amber? You good?
I think that's exciting. I want to see what's available out there.
I love it. I love it. Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's talk first and foremost. Let's just review a little bit of what we talked about last time regarding new loan limits, because I know that every year there's a new change. I'm still kind of mind blown that the loan limits are as high as they are, because just a few years ago, they were like in the 280s for FHA, and now I'm like blown away. But let's walk through that if you can, Amber, and just talk through like what happens each year when those loan limits change, how it impacts the buyers.
Let's do it. Okay. So loan limit, I know it is crazy how high they've gone, right?
Yeah,
In
for
such
sure.
a short time, But the one that I like talking about because it helps so many people are the FHA loan limits. Because FHA, you put down 3.5%. So this loan limit, the 524,225, this is the one that you were talking about a few years ago. It was like 289 or something like that.
Yep.
I think that was before pandemic, but it was
Yep.
crazy low. And now it's 524,225. But what it allows, a lot of first-time home buyers do use FHA loans. You could add it to grants. You could do an FHA loan and add a grant to it. You could do multiple different things with it. The guidelines are a lot looser than conventional. You can go up to higher debt to income ratios, which is what a lot of people need right now.
Right.
And you could just do a lot of different, like if you had a bankruptcy or some kind of credit problems in the past, it allows you to get a loan quicker than like a conventional loan does.
And a lot of
On the
people
FHA
kind
loan.
of crap on FHA, and I don't know why. I don't know if it just has a bad, just a bad name to it or whatever from the past. But FHA is a great loan, and I would say like out of all the loans in Las Vegas, it's a large percentage of what people are using. And I just think it's beautiful that you can do a lower down payment. It just helps you get into a home much faster, which I think
I
is
don't
really,
know
really
why people crap on FHA loans so much. But what the misconception is they think that conventional loans don't have any mortgage insurance on it.
right.
And that's not true. So FHA loans always have mortgage insurance on it. So if you're putting a lot of money down, you might be in a better place conventional, but on conventional, you're still going to have mortgage insurance if you put down less than 20%.
Right. Exactly.
So like you still have mortgage insurance. Sometimes if your credit scores are lower, that mortgage insurance is going to be higher on conventional than it would be on FHA.
Right.
And then also the rate too. The rate on FHA is the same rate if you're a 620 FICO score or higher.
Right.
Conventional, if you're a 725, if you go below 720, the rate goes higher and higher every 20 points.
Right.
or that your credit score is. So there's a little bit of differences. If you have perfect credit, a lot of money down, conventional is the way to go. Anybody else, FHA is probably a good way to go.
I love it. So let me just reiterate to anybody that's joining us now, we're going to be doing some fun scenarios in the MLS here in just a few minutes, where we're going to run like, what can I get for 300,000, or what, how much are houses in Henderson, or whatever that looks like. So if you have any specifics, like stuff that you want to look at, what's a 4-bedroom with a pool, single story, whatever that looks like in the housing market, like parameters, drop it like it's hot in the comments so we can search for that in a few minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to talk through really quickly the rest of these loan limits that have changed for 2025. So we're just doing a whole bunch today. We're excited to kick off the year. Amber, what was FHA's loan limit last year?
It was 487.
What? It's gone up that much?
Oh my gosh, Laci, they changed so much that no, it was 492.
492 still. That's going up that much.
So fast that I'm like, oh yeah, what was the loan limit last year?
That's insane.
487 was like 2022s.
Yeah.
And then it went up to 492.
I just can't believe that it's popping up. So I mean, it's sort of trying to keep up with what's happening in the market, assumingly, right? Awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks at the median prices because you're looking them up for every county. So this is Clark County that we're talking about today.
Right.
And this is for just one unit.
Okay. One unit, meaning one house, one person, one house. Not a duplex, not a
triplex,
fourplex, single family home.
Yeah. So if you went to go buy a duplex, triplex, fourplex, you can go, your loan limits are a lot higher. Right. And you can do that with only 3.5% down. The only unfortunate thing is in Vegas, there's not a lot. It seems like more single family condo townhouses are what's on the market. There's not a lot of the multifamily properties.
Yeah, multifamilies are usually over $1 million right now, and they're very few and far between because they're great investments. So those that we do have they're being clung to with like white knuckling it to hang on to. Let's talk about conventional. So conventional, I know, is like you said, if you've got good credit, you've got a bigger down payment, conventional is sort of the loan we would want to have you go with. But a lot of people assume, including me before I got in this business, that conventional loan requires a 20% down payment. So let's start with that. But then, talk about the limit this year. And what was it last year, if you can recall?
So the limit this year is the 806,500.
Okay.
It went from 792 and change to 806.
So that one didn't go up that much. Yeah.
It didn't go up, but it still went up. Like this is a good limit. So what this does, like the difference between, we already talked about FHA, but if you're going to buy in a higher price point, you're going to want to go conventional. And the good thing about the higher loan limit on conventional is that it stops you from doing like a jumbo loan. Jumbo loans, like over 806,500, it would be considered jumbo. And those ones, a lot of times, to get the competitive rate and stuff, you can go as low as like 5% down, 10% down, but your rate's going to be crazy. Right. So if you're doing a jumbo loan, you're always going to be in a better place to try to put down 20%. And so I think that's where the misconception of the 20% comes around, because in some states like California and the high price states, they're always buying higher priced houses. Right. And those ones, you're going to get better loan terms if you're putting down a bigger down payment.
Right.
Okay. But on straight conventional, if you're a first time home buyer, you could put 3% down at a loan price of 806,500, only 3% down payment for a first time home buyer. For if you're buying your second or third house, then it's 5% down. There's a lot of cool things about conventional loans. There's a lot of cool guidelines. Conventional is always changing their guidelines too, which is what we'll talk about if we talk about loan limits, because they're always kind of changing things and they're rolling with the new days, new times, like technology. Yeah. So there's a lot of different things to keep up with on conventional that can help you get into a house.
Okay. Just again, I'm seeing a lot of new people join. So I just want to reiterate our agenda for today. We're running through these new loan limits really quickly, just to reiterate some stuff from last time we were live. We're going to talk a little bit about some cool stuff that's going on with the lending world that Amber's got some insight on for us. And then I'm going to take us into the MLS, where we live, breathe, and die, basically, in there for whatever's available as far as right now in the market. So I would love it if you guys could start commenting with parameters for what you would want to know is available. Like what's the price of a 4-bedroom house with a pool that's single story in Las Vegas, things like that. So we'll dive in and take a look at some of those listings that are active literally right this second. So drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. We're breezing through this stuff because the fun stuff's coming in a minute. So Amber, let's talk about VA loans. So I know that their VA is like one of the best loans you can obviously get. Thank goodness, it's for the right reasons. But there's a lot of nuances to it. Can we touch on those for a minute?
Let's talk about it. So VA, I love VA loans. They are thankfully, and thank you for your service. Anybody that's doing
Yep.
a VA loan, thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys get the best loan that's out there. The best rates are given on VA. There's no mortgage insurance on VA. If you have any VA disability, then they get rid of the funding fee that's added onto the loan. So it's a lot of different like benefits to VA. VA has no loan limit, nothing, no loan limit if
Wow.
it's your only VA. So the only time you run into problems with like, because you'll see like VA loan limits came out yesterday and they were the same as conventional 806 500. So then you're confused like, okay, you just said no limits and now you're saying 806 500. That's only if you have things on your entitlement. So if you have another VA loan and then you want to be able to take two VA loans, that's where you have to look at loan limits.
Got
Or
it.
like say you've had a past foreclosure or short sale in the past that had a VA loan in it, then that's going to utilize some of your entitlements. So then you'll have to utilize the new loan limits to figure out your new entitlement.
Right.
So there's a lot of different things to look at VA, but if it's your first VA, if it's your only VA, there's no loan limits. You can go
Right.
out and buy your $1.4 million house and get 100% financing with no down payment and like no PMI with the best rate out there.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad you explained that because I know a lot of people will call me and they say, I have the VA loan. Can I do another loan? They're asking me a bunch of stuff. Obviously that's not my expertise. It's yours, but I didn't realize there were so many nuances with VA. So that's good information to have actually.
Yeah. And some people think that because you had a past VA foreclosure or short sale that you can't get another VA. No, it just took up some of your entitlement, but you still have the rest of your entitlement. And as loan limits go higher and higher for VA, then you can get another VA. So
okay, I love that. All right, so let's talk because you shared some stuff with me on our phone call before this live stream, and I kind of was like, stop. Let's save it for the show. Essentially, talk to me about like you were saying that you're feeling like there's a shift happening in the lending industry, which in a good way, I think. I just stopped you before I realized it was good.
Yeah, I think it's a good way.
So talk to me. Yeah, tell me what's happening and what's your gut, as we start to move into 2025 for not only the process of getting approved, ease of that experience or, whatever we need to be aware of, but also just kind of where this industry is going.
So yesterday I got a whole bunch of new guidelines for conventional. Remember how I said conventional is always keeping up with the times, moving with the punches, so my thought process on that, and I'll go through some of the changes that I saw in there, but my thought process on the changes was that we're kind of in an AI world right now, right?
Yep. Well, so technology is definitely leading the conversation everywhere, right?
Yeah, and some of the antiquated ways of like figuring income out and doing this and doing that might be a bit antiquated, right? So like and we've been doing this for a few years. There's something that's called like what I use as account check. And account check, what you do as a borrower is you give us access to your statements in your account. So like
your bank account, right?
Your bank account, right? Okay. So in the past, you would give us like bank statements, and if you had rent, then you get a verification of rent. You give us tax returns. You give us W-2.
It's like a lot of gathering of data, like a lot
of gathering of data. Over time, those things have kind of lessened to where the system for conventional loans will give you, will validate your income and validate your assets if you sign on to these programs called like account check, and some other companies might use different programs. Right. But what that does, so basically like if I'm running a file to approve for you, right, on a conventional loan, I'm running a file to approve for you, and the system says, no, I'm not going to do a loan for you because you've had problems with your credit or you don't have enough credit. And then a lot of times I'd have to go FHA and play with it like that. Right. So now what the system is doing is saying, or what FH or what conventional is trying to get us to do is run account check for you, and they validate everything on your bank statement. So your bank statements are going to show what you're paying in rent. Your bank statements are going to show what you're saving. Your bank statements are going to show what your income is, right, which sometimes your pay stubs might show a lower income than what your actual income is, because maybe you just received bonuses, maybe you just received something else, right? So sometimes your pay stubs might show a little bit lower if we have to calculate it the old way. So account check is kind of getting us to calculate it in a new way because the system is calculating it for you. So if you've been told no on a loan, then sometimes it's better to pull account check so that the account, the bank statements will show what your rent history has been for the past 12 months.
Right.
And then the system will calculate that in. Does that make sense, or did I lose you with it?
Did not lose me. It's definitely a lot though. I mean, that's why you get paid the big bucks, right? That's why you're so good at what you do. Now, it didn't lose me, but it sounds to me when I'm listening to what you're saying, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a less of a hurdle to like start the process. Like it's really, to me, getting loan approved and selling your house are the two things that I'm just like, okay. And luckily I work with you and you make it easy, but a lot of lenders don't do extra stuff. They don't go the extra mile and they don't ask the right questions. So you end up doing this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and constantly having to get them more documents. So it sounds like that's going to streamline things a little bit. It's going to help, right?
It'll streamline it. This is what I believe too, because there's been a lot of like fraud in the industry, right? It's kind of a bad word to say, right? That F word, but there's been some fraud in the industry. So the people that are doing the wrong kind of hurt the people that are doing the right, in that more and more paperwork has come about because of that. So when you do account check, you're signing on to you're giving the bank not the ability to look at, not the ability to get into your bank account, but to look at your statements. And that's directly from the bank. So that takes a level of fraud away.
Got it.
Right. And then that helps you get approved more by taking that level away. And it's giving more of a picture of what you've paid for rent and stuff like that, to be able to give the bank an opportunity to look at more than just your credit.
Talk to me about credit though, because so we have a lot of people who reach out to us who they're not US citizens, or maybe they married somebody who's not from the US, or maybe they've never had credit. I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios that we hear about. In fact, actually, I just saw a question that kind of aligns with this from DLVTT. Amber, is it possible to get a VA loan as a permanent resident alien? By the way, Happy New Year to both of you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
But similar question. So like, talk to me about credit. Does any of what's happening in the industry assist with people who don't have credit without forcing them to go through all the hoops that that they've been forced to do in the past to build credit and do that?
Yeah, so that's one of the changes that just came out, like the announcement yesterday, where conventional will allow you to do a loan through doing account check. Because remember, they're weighing you on more things than just your credit, right? When they look at your bank account and see how your money flows, then they can weigh you on more things on it. So you can actually get a conventional loan without having a FICO score. Like FICO score. You can run it. You have to do the account check so that you can see the flow of the statements. And then you show alternative credit. So you show that you're making bills, and they can get a 12-month picture of what you're making based on your account. So without having a credit score, you can do a conventional loan. Isn't that cool?
Amber, we got to lead with that next time. Lead with that. Why didn't I name this freaking thing? You can get it. What? That's amazing.
So
okay,
a lot of
you got to be a little bit better about helping me with the marketing of these live streams. That would have been a great title for today. Can I change it? I wonder. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, yeah, it probably would have been a great title today. So hopefully everybody's going to listen through it.
So you can get a conventional loan with no FICO score. So for people who are relocating, people who are wanting to invest, like the biggest hurdle right now, especially for foreign nationals or people who are just like wanting to look at what's happening in the US and take advantage and invest, is that they have to build credit. They've got to go through all these hoops. As long as they've got those things that they can dial in.
You just make sure that you're paying things through your bank account, right? Like verifying your rent through your bank account. So, and then it has to be an account that takes like account check, which most of the big account, like if you're dealing with a big bank, they're all going to take account check, right?
I love
that kind of stuff, but you could do it without a FICO score.
I love
that's pretty awesome.
Dude, that's pretty awesome. Lead with that next time. We're doing a whole one that I'm just, dang, that's awesome.
Honestly, so let's say you have no FICO score, you have you're new to the US, you just barely got a W-2 job, because like a self-employed job is going to be a little bit harder to verify things through, but you just got a W-2 job and you have everything flowing through a bank account, you're in a whole different place than it would have been in the past. Automation is going to help people versus hurt. And I personally think it's because it takes a level of fraud, out of it that the banks don't have to worry about.
They're trusting it more, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. For a minute, I was like, they're not letting you get in and finagle and do what you know how to do. But the reality is no, it's taking away a lot of the heavier stuff that takes up more of your time and allowing you to really dive into the ones that do need a little bit of tweaking or a little bit of conversation related to getting approved. So this is going to help. This is going to be a good help. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, let me jump forward.
Moving forward, it's more definitely automated.
Yes.
Is what it looks like. It looks like the future of loans is going definitely more automated. Okay. Not that it already hasn't been, but it's going more so.
It's like, did you see, never mind. I was going to bring up the sphere over the weekend, the Anima thing. Did you see the sphere?
I didn't see it.
They had this robot that was doing these amazing graphics at this EDM concert that's been happening at the sphere that looks insane. And what's crazy is I was just thinking it's going to be automated. I'm like, literally everything in my mind in the future looks like that robot. That robot is literally everything is that robot. You know what I mean?
It kind of is, yeah.
I love it. I actually just realized my door is open and there's a helicopter outside. So I might go close that really quickly. But CR Rich wants to know, how does one drop it like it's hot? Thank you, CR Rich, for catching that phrase. I want to let you guys know we are doing this for you. If you have questions about anything related to moving to Vegas, you can drop it like it's hot in the comment box below and just let us know what questions you have. It doesn't have to do with loans or anything like that. It can be anything. And we're going to run through some really cool scenarios here in just a minute where we go into the MLS. I show you what you can get for whatever budget, whatever parameters you want to set. So start dropping it like it's hot. I need some stuff to run through the system. Hello. And we'll go there. Okay. Amber, any other updates on that before we run into the next topic?
No other updates, but as they come out, so here's what I'm excited about. At the beginning of the year, you start seeing all kinds of different guideline changes, all kinds of different programs. There's different grants that come out. I just sent some emails today saying, okay, are we back in the money with the grant programs right now? So I can start talking about it and stuff like that. So just kind of stay tuned because all that stuff comes about. Yeah.
Oh my God, look at you promoting the future. Oh, I've made a marketer out of you. I freaking love it. Yeah, definitely stay tuned, guys. Amber and I are going to be coming in with some heavy hitter topics that we're going to bring up not only on live stream, but we're going to be producing a lot more really cool videos that'll help educate you and just kind of remove the fear from the equation. We want to bring hope to home ownership. And we've done that many, many times. For now, how many years? Are we in our 8th year right now, Amber?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've been doing this since, oh my God, that's just crazy. I want to cry when I think about it. We've been doing this a long time. Amber is one of the top rated in the world, or not the world, in the US. She's one of the top rated in Nevada. I think last month you were the number 1 lender, if I'm not mistaken. We're waiting to hear back, but on all the final results. But all that being said is we want to just take away the fear. So stay tuned for sure. And can we talk about that next week, you think, Amber?
Yeah, let's do it.
Done. So now you know what's coming next week. So stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss any of the announcements. Okay. So I'm not seeing a lot of scenarios here. I'm going to move over to the next thing really quickly. If you want to know how much a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom single story with a pool in Henderson costs, drop it in there. Let me know what you want and we'll do some fun searching with you guys. Really quickly, I want to talk about the current market snapshot. We do not have December numbers yet. So I just want to preface this by saying by next week, we will have new information. But this is November's numbers. And as of right now, guys, if you're wondering what does it cost to buy a house in Las Vegas, right now we're looking at between $480 and $500 as our median home price. It did get a little bit slower during the month of December and November, honestly, as it always does. Amber and I like to come online and say it's a juicy, crunchy time to buy a house, and it really has been. What I've seen lacking in the market has been a little bit the inventory has been lacking pizzazz, and we've been competing resale wise has been competing with the new home communities, which we also represent you for. So it's been an interesting year to kind of watch what's happened all over. I'm going to pull this back away for a minute. What's been happening all over the city with what the new home communities have been doing to pull any business they can in, right? They've got investors to answer to and stockholders to answer to. So they need to make sure that they're still keeping that money moving. So what they've been doing is doing a lot of really deep incentives, offering to buy down your rate and doing all these really flashy, amazing things. What's unfortunate about that, though, is I've noticed that it's been starting to be built back into the price of the home. And it's just it's a little bit of what's it called? Like the moving cups. It's a little bit of an illusion. It's not a bad thing though. Like if you can get a house and they can buy down your rate and it's a fixed rate for 30 years, God bless. Let's do it. Let's talk. Like let's definitely talk. We work with new homes for a reason, but we definitely like it when it's a little more balanced, like it has been for since my starting in this career. And only in this last year or 15 months have I seen the prices of new homes and resale homes start to actually pull apart, which to me makes sense. It's a brand new home. So that's what's been happening because of all these incentives they're doing. So all that being said, the inventory has been a little lacking pizzazz. It's been the homes that have been listed need a little bit of work. They don't compete as well with some of those new homes that you're seeing. Although this last month, I've started seeing a lot more homes hit the market. With all that being said, when we have more inventory on the market and it's a slower time, there's more room for negotiability, right? So Amber and I talk a lot when we're making offers for our clients about, what can we get from the seller? What are they willing to do? We never want you coming out of pocket on everything that you need to do to buy a house. If we can get you some closing costs, we're going to get those. If we can get your agent fees covered, we're going to get those. In fact, we always get those, at least at this point in time. So we're always wheeling and dealing and trying to negotiate a cool puzzle of what your deal might look like. So it's not the same for everyone, right, Amber? It's not black and white. Every deal is different.
Every deal is going to totally change it. I mean, honestly, when you're looking at buying a house, if there's a seller on the other side, that seller has their, wants, their needs, they have everything else. So and like, okay, so for example, one client was just looking to buy a house and put in an offer on a house. And then the listing agent called me and was like, well, why do you need closing costs? Because the seller can't pay the buyer can't pay the closing costs. Right. What kind of question is that? And the seller didn't have any room because she bought her house higher and then didn't have any room to be able to pay the closing costs. So there's different things, but then there's other people that have owned their house for years and years and years, and they have the room to pay the closing costs. So like the scenario is going to change depending on like who you're buying the house from.
And the reason I'm seeing a little bit more inventory hit the market, which is a good thing for buyers. It's a great thing for buyers. I think it's good for sellers too. It forces you to like present the right kind of product and also like forces you to like, really be looking at what the inventory is and really be pricing the homes correctly instead of getting all wild trying to be, some random, like we're trying to price it like LA or something. So, which we're not, by the way, we're not LA yet. So all that being said, I just wanted to share with you those stats really quickly. Let me just put that back up there. How do I do that? Is it this? Oh, that's me. Look at that. That's cute. Okay, let's try this. I love playing with this thing in the back end. So again, we're looking right now as of November. Next week, we will have new numbers. But as of right now, November is the latest. 510 is our median listing price for for single family. 294 is our median listing price. And then, condos and townhomes have started to creep up a little bit as far as the closing price. They're higher than what they're listed at, which means people are not getting as much of a deal on condos and townhomes. But for single family units, there's definitely negotiability. So stay tuned and we'll do some more of that stuff as we move forward. I'm trying to rush because I'm really excited about doing with this next thing.
Oh yeah, I know. Wait, so just quick question. Does that mean there's more first-time home buyers out there since condo townhouses are creeping up?
Oh, actually, let me finish my thought before. This is what happens when my brain goes fast. The reason I think I'm seeing more inventory is that I think people are starting to accept that the people that have been waiting for the rates to drop for them to buy their next house or move downsize or do whatever they're going to do, they're realizing that like this is the market, that the rates are not, moving up and down at a crazy pace like they were before. So I think they're finally like, okay, I got to get out of this house. Let's get it on the market. I need to move on with my life. And I think that's why we're seeing some more inventory hit the market. As far as let me pull that back up to answer your question. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. So as far as the condos and townhomes being listed at 294 on a median rate and then selling for a little higher, I think a lot of that has to do with, the lower budget, the higher, we're getting higher on single family homes, right? The budget has gone up quite a bit. The median prices have gone up quite a bit over the last 18 months. And so because of that, with low inventory and not as and the rates being funky and all these weird things swirling, a lot of people who are moving here are saying, well, then let me just get into the market. Let me just get my foot in the door. And so they're going towards the condos and townhomes because, that's the price point that they can afford. I don't know that it's always first time home buyers because I am seeing a lot of investors also come into here because obviously Vegas is a place to be investing right now. It's booming. It's not slowing down anytime soon. Did that answer your question?
It did. I was just curious when I saw the condos and townhouses moving upward.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is as there's a little bit more of a differential between like the single family home pricing and that's creeping. We've got more inventory of condos, but we've also got more people that are trying to buy that, can't afford the single family. So they're going into the condos. Honestly, if you get your leg in the door, you get it in the door any way you can in this city.
Yeah.
Real estate's real estate. They're always going to need a place to live. All of us are always going to need a place to live, and they're not making any more land. So it's last I heard, at least. I don't know. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right, let me run through these comments, guys. Again, so now we're going to jump into the fun part. I'm going to jump into MLS. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. If you want to ask me how much a 3-bedroom house with a pool in 89004 is, let me know. Drop it like it's hot. Whoop, in the comment box below, and we'll go through it. Let me see if I can bring up some of these questions. Amber, what are the HELOC rates and limits? This person has a 780-ish credit score.
Hello, Neil. How are you? The HELOC rates and they differ so much. So basically with HELOCs, you have to just kind of price it out differently every day. I know you sent me a message yesterday. We're checking on yours today to be able to see what kind of HELOC we can do for you. So HELOC is basically like when you're looking to take equity out of your house, when you have a lot of equity in it, a HELOC will allow you to get that equity, and the rates differ depending on the day.
So home
Like
equity
what the
line of
market's
credit.
doing. Home equity line of credit. Sometimes you could do a second mortgage on it. You could do different things with the HELOC. But with the 780 FICO, you're going to get the best of what's out there. We're pulling different, my team is pulling different programs for you today to kind of see where they are.
Awesome.
Neil's next question, though, I want to, like the next question he had on there, the thing that's not good about the VA. You said at okay. I put 50K down. Oh, but can't recast
for low interest. What I don't like about mine a few years ago is I wanted to put 50K down on the principal and recast it, but they weren't allowed to do that.
So what's a
recast? What's a recast?
So a recast is, okay, so let's say that you have another house to sell somewhere else and you just gained a whole bunch of money. So you have your loan for, let's just say $300,000, and you want to go and put like 100,000, or in Neil's case, it was $50,000 down on it to get your payment lower, right? So a recast, most of the time, if you get your payment lower, you have to refi, but then you're taking current rates. A recast is using the rate you already have. So if you had a really low rate, you don't want to touch that.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
But take the rate that you currently had when you did the loan, but pay it down so that you can get a new payment on it. You're going to recast your loan so that it's just going to change your principal balance, but not your interest rate.
That's awesome. And is that available for all loan types, Amber, or just VA, or how does that work?
No, VA, it's not available for VA.
Oh, it's not available. That's what I meant. Sorry.
It's available on conventional loans where you can recast the loan to be able to get the lower. But some lenders don't do it too. Guild does do recast. It is a really cool option. So like yesterday, I was talking to a client that was selling her house from California, but didn't want to sell it before she bought a house here. So she was putting 5% down on the house that she was buying. And then when she sells a house in California a year or two from now, then she'll go ahead and do the recast on the loan. So it's a really good option.
How long you have to be able to do a recast? Is there ever a time limit?
You have to at least, no, there's no time limit. You can do it right out. You could do it like a couple months after you buy the house, but you can only do so many recasts per year. I think it's one or two. I'd have to look at that.
Let's do a full video about recast, because I think it would be cool to look at some scenarios. I know there's a lot of people who, like I said, have a lot of equity in their home, but are waiting for the rates to drop so that they can buy other things. But maybe if they would look at their current home, maybe instead of taking their down payment they have, maybe if they could do a little bit of that, it might be able to help them make room for it on the other side.
Yeah, when you're selling, like there's so many different ways to use it. So I'm glad you brought that up, Neil.
Nice, Neil. Thank you, dude. Appreciate the good question. Again, how does one drop it like it's hot? Amber, do you know how to drop it like it's hot?
Of course I do.
Listen, if you want to really see how to drop it like it's hot, Amber's done a bunch of stuff on her Instagram. Be sure to go follow her. And then on my Instagram, you can see me at a lot of concerts dropping it like it's hot. Dropping it like it's hot in the comment box below. Go ahead.
You're great at dropping it like it's hot.
You're sure I am. You know what? I have a whole nother career if I want to go that route, honestly. C. Rich says, pay cash. You don't have to jump through all the hoops. I've bought 3 houses in the past 6 years. Congratulations. Why aren't you calling me, C. Rich? Why are we not helping you do this? Hello. Rolled equity from each sale. Current mortgage only $25K on a 2020 build. Good for you, Rich. Seriously. Nice job.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Do it.
All right, let's see. Two more questions, then I'm going to start running through some scenarios because I really think this will be fun. DJ Marcana says, my 2-1 buy down is ending in February. Any chance to refi my VA loan that Yurvochuk did? I don't know what that means. What's Yurvochuk?
It's a different loan officer.
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
The 2-1 buy down basically gives you a lower rate than the current rate for the first 2 years, right? But yeah, once it's over, I mean, you can refinance it at any time. It just depends on what rate you took 2 years ago.
Got it.
He said
it's a 6.125 rate, by the way.
Oh, I mean, the rates are a little bit, you might want to check the rates right now and see where they're at. I don't know that you'll get a lot better than that one right now. So at this point, it's time to start watching that though and seeing what the rates do.
Got it. Samuel Jackson. Samuel, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Rates aren't coming down until the 10-year treasuries come down, not likely in the near future. Yeah. So, I mean, that's not bad news. That's not great. That's not any kind of news that's like up, down, left, or right. It's just, it is what it is. Right. So I think it's kind of sticking. And I think that's what Samuel's kind of referring to here.
And keep in mind when rates do go down, because eventually they will go down. When rates do go down, the prices usually go like this too.
Yep. When rates go down, there's a lot more competition on the market and a lot of people, less negotiability. So let's just be very, very real about that. Yeah. Dante says, hey, Dante, good to see you. All right, guys, let's jump over here to the MLS. So this is the system that we use as realtors when we want to look up and see, set up listing up alerts for you. We want to look up and see what the heck is going on, what houses are available, et cetera. So I'm going to pop over here, and I thought it might be fun for us to look at I hope you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm going to plug into my system in the back end here, what we could get for our money here in Vegas. So right now I'm going to look at anything that's active as a listing or coming soon, single family homes only as of right now. Let's do 4 bedrooms or more. And let's see, I want a pool. Got to have a pool. A lot of you guys are you got to have a pool. So let me back that out real quick so I can show you what's happening. So as of right now, when I did none of those parameters, just active and coming soon, single family residential homes, we've got 5,300 homes to work with. Okay. So if I start that process over and I go active and coming soon, now we just want to look at single family residential and we just want to do 4+ bedrooms. That takes us from 5,300 homes to 3,400 homes, 3,474. Now, a lot of you guys are insistent on living in Summerlin, insistent on living in Henderson, and you're insistent on, I got to have a pool because it's hot in Vegas, right? So let's just start with the pool. If I just put 4+ bedrooms, single family home that has a pool, 1,200, you literally went from 3,400 to 1,200 homes to consider here in Las Vegas. And I'm showing this honestly for fun, but I also want to kind of give you guys like a real perspective of like what's possible here. So you come in knowing what to expect. Let me click on the map and show you where these homes are actually located so you can get a really good idea of, what's possible. So if I zoom out of the map here and I just look, let's see, Summerlin. So if I'm just looking at Summerlin, you got 80, let me zoom in a little more. You got about 103 homes, it said, in Summerlin, 93-ish, 51, what these two combined, plus you got some 55+ community homes. There's a good amount to consider over here in Summerlin. They're all going to be kind of the resale model because this does not include new homes. And then let's look at the price point on what those homes look like. So the low price, now again, this is, oh wait, I didn't circle the Summerlin area. Let me just circle Summerlin. So we're just focused on that for right now.
I was going to say, is that 89107 in Summerlin?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do a very sloppy.
I like how you can just
I just like draw it out. I'm doing a very sloppy version of it, but the results are we got 216 homes in a sloppy outline. If I do a better job, it would give us better results, but we're just playing with it. So right now you got 465 is the lowest price in that sloppy thing that I just drew out. I'll show you what that looks like. The highest price is 32 million. So good news for you guys. If you want a 4-bedroom house, 4 bedrooms or more house in Summerlin with a pool, you can buy one for 32 million. But let's really quickly open this one up and let me pull up the pictures so you can just see kind of what this one looks like. Can you see that okay, Amber?
Yeah, it's a cute house.
Actually, let me go. So I'll tell you where this is in a minute. So looks like a, kind of like a standard home. They've done some nice little upgrades. Can you see the pictures okay?
You could, yeah, you could see them.
Some nice, I mean, it's not bad. The kitchen needs some updating as far as like the countertops and stuff, but it's modern. It's a nice little layout. I'll tell you how old this home is in just a second. Oops. Oh, I know this model very well.
Because
The
you're
lighting.
Las Vegas gal. Of course you know the model.
You know I do. I know all of it. They've done some nice upgrades though. So they put a little bit of money, not a lot of money, right? House was built in 97 and it's listed right
Wow.
now for 465. But it came down from 475 and it's, so it's been listed for a little while. So the whole point in me doing this, guys, is to help you just kind of start to see, what does that look like? I know you can go onto Zillow and do all this stuff for yourself, but this is literally what we look at every single day to give you an idea of what's available. So let's go down here. Let's see. Nathan is asking us to do 2-bedroom, 2-bath, high rise near the strip between 600 and 800 for retirement in a few years, like the Panorama, Martin, or open to others. Okay, hang tight. Let's look at that here. That'll be fun.
Oh, that'll be fun. Let's look at some high rises.
High rises. So okay. All right, Amber, I'm going to leave the comment up so you can help read because I got to switch to a different screen. So read it to me here. 2 bedrooms or more?
2-bedroom, 2-bath, high rise near the strip between 600 and 800K.
Okay, I'll do 800 and under and high rise. So now let's go to the map so we can decide where we're looking. So he said near the strip. Does that include downtown? I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe do downtown and the strip too.
Okay, so Las Vegas Boulevard is right here, guys. Nothing, except for those right there. Let me zoom in. All right, let me trace this around. Love that I'm like on a whim just doing this without any real plan.
It shows how good you are.
All right, let's look at the results. All righty, so now some of these include, let's see. The lowest you're going to get is going to be 419, and that's going to be off of West Sahara. That is Allure Condos, which is, right over on the corner of Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard. This is what it looks like. It's 1,233 square feet. Got a nice little balcony. You got a nice view of the strip and the city. Looks kind of modern, nothing crazy. I mean, it's nice. It's a 2-bedroom. It's 1,233 square feet, high-rise condo. One thing about high rises that you should be aware of, it's 419,000. The let's see.
The
HOA. Where is the HOA? Why am I not seeing the HOA? Are you seeing the HOA here? I'm not seeing the HOA information. Let me go to the next one because the HOA is really the biggest thing that you need to keep in mind and the biggest expense when it comes to high rises. Let me find that. Where is it?
It was right. CIC dues, 972.
There it is, $972 a month. $972 a month. So yes, that's great that it's $419 or $450, but you've got $1,000 a month that you're going to be spending on, all those dues and stuff for you to be able to have access to all of the amenities. Let's see. Let's look at this one. This one's the top of the budget. Under 800, 669. This one is in Allure as well. So same sort of thing. Let's see if it's any better than the last one. Here's some of the amenities.
So with high rise, it kind of depends on what floor you're on, right? What view you have. And
this one is the 24th floor, and it's not showing me the size of this. What is going on? I think they made some changes to MLS. That's okay though. We'll go through it. Nice view, nice bright setup. They've done some nice upgrades in the kitchen and on the countertops. Sorry, other way. Doing 3 things at once is really interesting, Amber. Look, I like this wraparound video or wraparound picture.
I'm just hanging out enjoying the pictures. I'm like,
it's fun. It's really cool.
So what, like the Martin.
Let me go back to the criteria and look at, like he said, the Martin, right? So let's just see if the Martin has, let's see, the Martin.
Oh, you can scroll like different. Okay.
Yeah. So the Martin under 800,000 for 2 bedrooms, anything that's currently active. Okay, that's the Martin. That's where it is. Let's go here and see how many there are. Oops, sorry.
What's the highest price in there that you can?
So under 800,000, it's going to be 645 is the highest price inside the Martin. 479 is the lower price. So let's start with the top one. This one is 1,400 square feet, a little over 1,400 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, as we know. And let's look at photos real quick. Nice view from this one. Nice big open floor plan. This looks like the one that I lived in. This is beautiful. Yeah. Nice kitchen, 2-bedroom, right? So you've got the 2-bedroom setup. It's 1,400 square feet. We'll talk about the HOA here in a minute. Yeah, it's got a nice setup here. Modern kitchen, a little bit more of a modern bathroom. Really big bathroom for what you're getting there. Look at that tub. I'm about to soak up in that tub right there. Look at that. Beautiful. So the Martin has some nice amenities. They've got a pool. They've got a concierge service, things like that. Some really beautiful fitness center setup. And that's that one. So let's look at
What
what
is their HOA?
$1,000 a month for that one. So it's the listing price is $645 and it's $1,000 a month for that.
And that one's on the 12th floor.
That's on
right?
the 12th floor. Yep. Now let's go to the lower priced one, $479. This one is going to be let's see. This one is 1,100 square feet, and this is on the 6th floor, so it's a lower floor. We're looking at CIC dues $849. So it's a little bit different based, like you said, Amber, on the floor that you live on. Again, this is the Martin. This is a very different design. Oh no, that's not the design.
I think that's
the community center. I was like, oh my God, is that the house? These are some of the amenities that you're getting. I was like, dang, that's way different. Damn, they went dark. They went all sinister on this one. Similar. So it's a different layout. Obviously, it's a lot smaller than the other one. It's 1,100 square feet ish, a little bit over 1,100. But it's still
cute,
beautiful, super cute. But so that's something to just keep in mind. If you're looking at high rises, that's the one thing that we always talk about is the fact that like you genuinely have to keep in mind those HOA dues are astronomical. But if that's the lifestyle you want and those amenities are what you want, get it. That's all good. Go there. Let's see. He said downtown is cool. Listen, I live downtown in a high rise and I had a blast living downtown.
You loved it downtown.
I loved it. I really want to move back, to be honest with you. But I'm like, I had so much of a blast that like I need a break. My liver needs a break too, I think. Woo! It was a good time. Too much fun.
Laci was at every party downtown.
Yeah, well, I am the party. I was the party downtown.
That's true.
Are most of the high rises in the same area as the Strat? No, actually, good question. So we've got high rises up and down the strip. We've got a lot of them downtown. There's like 3 or 4 downtown, and there's a couple off the strip actually. Down by there's the Sahara, obviously, or the one on Sahara. Allure is right by the Sahara and Stratosphere, but no, they're all over the place. They're even off the strip over in like there's high rises in Las Vegas Country Club, which is over behind the strip.
Oh yeah,
like more vintage. Yeah. So
where's that Queens? What is it?
Queensridge. Yeah, that's in Summerlin. Yeah.
It's in Summerlin, yeah.
Yeah. JF called me Party McCarty. I like it. I'm going to stick with that one. All right, let me go back and do a couple more. I just think this is fun. Are you guys having fun? Give me a thumbs up if you're having fun.
I love it.
So, all right, let me go back. Let's see.
Let's be nosy.
I know. I love this. I'm trying to see if there's a better way to show it so that like you can really see. And we'll keep it here for now and see what we can do. Okay, let's go back over and look at houses again. Let's look at residential homes because that's a lot of the people coming in town, what they're looking for. Single family home or townhouse. Let's open it up a little bit. And let's say we don't need a pool this time, but let's say I just want 4 or more bedrooms. I want to do 2,500 square feet. So I want a 2,500 square feet home or more, right? And I'm not going to put a price point on it. We've got 1,744 matches in Las Vegas, but let's see where they're located. So again, let me put a budget because this is going to give us too many. Let me do 600,000 or under. That took it way down, 231 matches. All right, so let's zoom in and see where those are located. Okay, all over Las Vegas. What's cool is not a ton in Summerlin, but a few up at the top here. A lot over here in North Las Vegas, as well as the Northwest, which is amazing. That's a booming area. Southwest has got quite a few. And then over here in Henderson, it's pretty scattered, but there's quite a few to look at. So let's look at the results and see what we're looking at here. So apparently, okay, let me do the map again and make it less so we're not looking at everything. Let's look at Henderson this time. So again, I'm making a really rough edge Henderson outline. Do not judge me on this.
We like it.
I know the city better than anybody, and I know where the streets need to stop, but I'm doing it quickly for you. Okay. Results. So as of right now, you can buy for $524,000 within the Henderson area, 2,500 square feet or more, 2-story house with 3 bedrooms. Let's look at this bad boy. This is the lowest price one. All right. This is 2,533 square feet. Beautiful layout. I know this layout. This is a cool house, actually.
I like the high ceilings in it.
Yeah, I like those big arches. This is a nice open floor plan. Very cool. Nice and clean palette.
Open. Yeah, definitely open floor plan.
Love this. I love the kitchen. Not necessarily the colors everybody loves right now, but you can always change the cabinets or paint them. Same thing with the countertop. Those are easy fixes. For $524 with probably a little bit of negotiability, this is a nice house. I'm not seeing any more pictures though. So what's going on with the upstairs is what I'd be asking.
Oh, they just took pictures of the pretty places. Is that what happened?
Yeah. See, that's why you always got to go. You always got to go to the house and check it out. And then for 600,000, again, we put that as our top budget. Let's look here. We've got 2,600 square feet. Again, this is all throughout Henderson. 6-bedroom. Okay. When's the last time you saw a 6-bedroom house, Amber? Oh, wow. See, guys, this is why you hire. This is why you hire a good realtor.
What is happening with the picture?
This is why you hire a realtor who knows what they're doing. I'm not going to talk.
That's like an old cell phone too.
I'm going out of here. I cannot look. I'm going to look at another one. Oh my God. Okay. There we go. There's something a little better. This is a little bit of an older home over in, I'm trying to look at the Green Valley area, older home. They definitely need some updates and upgrades, but it's 2,500 square feet. This is a staged version of the home.
I was like, that's cute furniture, but that's like put in their furniture, huh?
This is all they're showing me. Yeah. Here's the kitchen. So again, I know this layout. I think this is very similar to my friend's layout, right? So cute, 2,600 square feet. If you can get into a 2,600 square foot home for $600,000 in Henderson, it's a little bit older, but you can put some money into it. You can really get something fun. So
do the remodel. I said, do the remodel. We could do a different type of loan where you can add some refurbishment into that.
Absolutely. Josh says, I did deliveries at Panorama Towers. The lobby was super cool. Panorama is a fun place to live for sure. We do high rises as well, guys. We work with all types of properties. We do commercial real estate. We focus on new homes. We do resale. We do high rise. So if you're thinking about moving to Vegas, I'm going to do this shameless plug. I mean, it's selfish, but shameless as well. Just text me at the number below, or you can also just click the link in the description of any video. We love just talking to you, even if you're not ready to move or just kind of are playing with the idea. Let's talk. Why not? And maybe you'll get a new friend out of it. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, let's see. Neil says, I've been following about 10 homes in the Lone Mountain area, beautiful area of town, and they're clearly owned by investors. Yeah, there's quite a few in that area that when it was blowing up and starting to really build out, that was a time in Vegas history and real estate history where investors were very heavily in the market. And they don't do a lot of things. Investors don't put a lot of money into houses, but if you can get a house that, up in that area and you can make a good deal, investors also don't have a lot of emotional tie to the house. So that makes it easier for us to negotiate you a good deal. Sometimes it just depends. All right. What are your thoughts on putting bids on homes where an investor believed that the home appreciated 40% in 6 months to a year? Well, first of all, I'm all about writing an offer and starting a conversation. We do it all the time. We don't just throw an offer out there. We're going to help educate you on what the market looks like, what the comps really are. So if the investor believes that the home is appreciated, then we're going to prove it or we're going to disprove it by running the numbers and putting the proof in the pudding. So that's a big part of what we do. Before we even write an offer, we run comps. We look at everything that's possible as far as why would they have priced it this high? We call them and we say, what were you thinking? Send us the comps you used. We do a lot of legwork back and forth to make sure we have a big picture and a clear picture before we write an offer. But I'm all about writing an offer and getting it going as long as you're ready to go and you're ready to, say yes when they say yes, because that's the whole goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Amber, what are your thoughts about the market right now? Just what I showed.
What are my thoughts about the market with what you showed? I always think January is because, okay, so here's what I'm seeing about the market with what you showed on there and everything else. What I think January is, everybody's in a slump in December, right? Like the holidays are rough. Yep. You have family things, you have all kinds of things going on. Spring hits in January in Vegas because like yesterday, I think it was like 65 degrees outside. Yep. So what I saw my phone ringing a lot. I saw movement, going out, looking at houses and everything else. I think right now is a good time because once it really starts to heat up, then that's when everybody's going to be going out, looking at houses, buying houses, and the prices go up. The rates go up with it because you got to, keep track of inflation and stuff like that. So that's what I think.
I love it. I think that's a good take. We're never going to pressure you to buy a house. That's not our goal here. We don't let money lead the conversation. We let relationship and concern for what you need and want to do and hope, honestly, to lead the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So we really do mean it. When we say reach out, please do reach out. We're happy to take phone calls. We're happy to run scenarios. We're happy to look at everything and put a game plan together for when you're ready to go. Amber makes a good point, and kind of it links back to what I was saying earlier about how we are seeing a little bit more inventory than I've seen in years start to hit the market for resale homes. And I do think it's at a point now where people who have been trying to time the market, people who are sitting back waiting for the rates to drop so they can now go buy a new home for a lower rate. But all this, you guys, I love you guys, but we're all trying to be experts about stuff that we don't know about, right? So I think people are starting to realize, like, okay, I gotta move, I gotta go, I gotta do. And so with more homes hitting the market, that's telling me also that buyers are doing the same thing. So when it's of the mindset of like, oh, I buy in the spring, it's spring and fall is when people buy houses, that's fine everywhere else. But we are able to do a lot more with the seasonality here in Vegas because it's stretched across the whole year. So when we say to you, now's a good time to buy, or if you're thinking about buying, now's a good time to like start the discussion, we really do mean it. We're not going to just say that so you'll call. Like, we don't care. That doesn't mean anything to us. So it's really exciting. And we're really proud to be able to kind of represent any aspect of your journey as you're moving through it. So, okay, enough of me running my mouth. Thank you for all the insight you gave us today. We've got one other question we're going to hit, and then we're going to hop off, you guys. You have to tune in next week. We're going to be talking about all kinds of cool stuff. And Amber and I are hitting the pavement hard this year. So if you're not subscribed, you better do so and click the bell so that you can stay tuned to what we're doing. Action VJ, I almost was going to say Action Jackson, but Action VJ says, if I'm looking to upgrade, what's the turnaround time to put my current condo on the market? I love this question because we never really talk about all of my listings here. And we love listing homes for sale. If you're in Vegas, we'd love to chat with you about doing that for you, but it typically takes a couple of weeks. I mean, we can move faster if need be. It really is going to depend on what's the state of your current condo? Like, does your condo need some upgrades? Is it cluttered with all your stuff? Like, what does it look like? So we'll come and take a look at that, but we'll be prepared to, if we meet with you and you're ready to go, we can get that baby up in about a week and a half, maybe sooner if we really got to hustle. And then getting it sold is a whole nother conversation. It's really going to be the market that dictates that. And we're starting to see more things hit the market. So you want to be out there before the rest of the inventory slams out there so that you're sold before the rest of them are waiting for a buyer. So that's just my take. What are your thoughts, Amber? Any last thoughts for today's live stream?
On the condo or just anything?
Anything, yeah.
Other than I'm excited for 2025, like just being like in January, I started on the 1st, right? Just being out there, like being, seeing what's happening in the market and stuff like that with buyers and stuff. And I'm like, okay, Vegas is going to move. It's
been moving.
People,
yeah.
It has been moving. I shouldn't say it's going to move, but you see excitement again.
Yeah.
Not that there hasn't been excitement, but when you go through the holidays, it kind of goes through like a moment. Yeah. And then you'll see like news things start talking about, oh, there's more inventory. There's always more inventory this time of year.
Yeah.
And then when you get into January and you start seeing that everybody's putting offers on houses and stuff like that, then it becomes less juicy and crunchy because the more people wanting the house, the less the seller has to give. So
yeah. So if you're thinking about buying this year, let's talk sooner rather than later, because if your timing doesn't align, that's okay. But we want to make sure that we give you insight to the areas of the market as well as the timing that we're just very familiar with, that we can take advantage of to negotiate you a good deal. Everybody wants a deal, right? Everybody wants a deal. If you want a deal, you got to work with a team that knows how to cut a deal. So that's us. So click the link in the description, text me at the phone number below, and we're going to sign off for today. Good closing. Thank you again for joining us. We will see you next Friday. Stay tuned. We've got some really fun stuff coming. If you're interested in chatting with us, we look forward to hearing from you. But otherwise, happy freaking New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's going to be a great one. 2025. Love it.
Let's do it. See you.